Chris, what is main topic number 6?
This comes from Imran. I'm not completely sure how long Rian Johnson has been talking about doing another Star Wars project, but it feels like 5 years. I was pretty sure whatever the project was is now dead, but he just did an interview and said that he's still working on it and that he still meets with Lucasfilm about it and that it's possible that he could end up doing a Star Wars Disney Plus series instead. So I have to ask, is another Rian Johnson project actually going to happen? And if so, do you think it'll be a movie or a TV series?
All right, Imran, thanks a lot for writing that in. Now, look, The Last Jedi is a very divisive film, but the very nature of something being divisive means there's a bunch of people who like it and a bunch of people who didn't. I'm one of those people that I fall on the side of that I like The Last Jedi. I mean, look, I have some real issues with it. I've talked about them ad nauseum, but overall, at the end of the day, I like the film. Not top tier Star Wars, but I like the film, and I love Rian Johnson as a filmmaker. Again, we were just talking about the brilliance of Glass Onion. He's terrific. Now, they talked for a long time that he had his own trilogy that they were going to do that had nothing to do with the Skywalker saga or anything. It was going to be a totally different thing. And they talked about that for years and nothing has ever really come out of it. But he continues to say that, hey, we still talk. As a matter of fact, he, like you just said, he just did another interview where he said that, hey, he and Kathleen Kennedy still talk all the time about what they do and that it could actually be a TV show. This comes to us from Rian Johnson himself, where he said the following: I would do a Star Wars anything. And if I had an idea that I was excited about that worked better as a show than a movie, I'd do it that way. At the moment, we're in between making the next Benoit Blanc or Knives Out movies and thinking about Poker Face. That's an upcoming series he's got coming as well. I keep getting together with Kathy Kennedy and having conversations. Who knows? Making The Last Jedi was the best experience in my life, so I should be so lucky. And again, that comes to us from Rian Johnson. All right. Now, I've already stated that I like The Last Jedi. I think Rian Johnson is a brilliant filmmaker, right? Whether you're looking at something like Looper, obviously Knives Out, Brick, I think he's fantastic. I think this dude is like a rare kind of storyteller. Now, did he knock it out of the park with The Last Jedi? I think most people would say that he didn't knock it out of the park. How badly he did knock it out of the park will depend on from person to person and who you ask. There were definitely some divisive things in there. But listen, as a Rian Johnson fan, and as a big Star Wars fan, and as somebody who liked The Last Jedi, certainly a lot more than The Rise of Skywalker, which was horrible, I got to say this, and I've said this ever since they talked about Rian Johnson doing another project. TV, movie, or holiday special, you cannot let Rian Johnson back into Star Wars. You can't. But John, you just said you really like Rian Johnson. I do. Would I watch another Star Wars movie by Rian Johnson? Hell yes, I'd give it a shot. But the reality is, there is, other than Kathy Kennedy herself, there is no more divisive figure in the world of Star Wars than Rian Johnson. A lot of people did not like his movie, and as a result, inexplicably, because they didn't like a piece of art he made, they don't like him. Whatever, I think that's pathetic, but it is what it is. And Rob, I've said for years on this show, and I still believe today, you can keep talking to Kathy Kennedy all you want. There are two things I believe. One, I don't believe they're actually ever planning on doing another one. I really don't. I think they're still just keeping up a facade. I really do. But even if what he's saying is true, you can't do it, because what's going to happen? The moment you announce a new Rian Johnson Star Wars project, there is going to be a firestorm of discussion online, and none of it is going to be about the new project. It's all going to be about the controversy of Rian Johnson coming back. And unlike what the popular, slogan goes, like any publicity is good publicity, no, it's not. Ask Armie Hammer. Not all publicity is good publicity. It's just not true. And I don't see any other reality that exists in all the multiverse that if tomorrow Lucasfilm announced that they were going to bring back Rian Johnson to do another thing, and as much as I love Rian Johnson, and I'd be down for seeing it, there is no way that the discussion is anything other than the controversy of it. And the attention is going to be drawn away from the project itself. And especially with Bob Iger coming back, I think Bob Iger understands this, and I don't think there's any way he allows this to happen. We want to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Stamps.com. Guys, it happens every holiday season. No matter how prepared we think we are for the season, it always turns out we're nowhere near as prepared as we thought we were, especially with our shipping. And right about now, seasonal excitement, or dread as the case may be, is really starting to settle in, especially for small businesses. Slaying through traffic to the post office, inboxes more like a blizzard than a winter wonderland, rushing to send cards and gifts to your loyal clients. The good news is it's not too late to get your holiday mailing and shipping under control with Stamps.com. Sign up now and you'll be printing your own postage in minutes. Because Stamps.com is your one-stop shop for all of your shipping and mailing needs. Get access to the United States Postal Service and UPS services that you need to run your business right from your computer. Up to 86% off. So this holiday season, trade late nights for silent nights and get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code Campea for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code Campea. I don't know, Chris, you hear Rian Johnson's comments. By the way, I'm dying to see this third Benoit Blanc movie.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to Poker Face. I love this guy. I really do. Mm-hmm. Is there a way he could come back to do more Star Wars films? And do you think it's actually going to happen?
I mean, I'm honestly surprised he'd want to, because we've had so many other filmmakers say they don't even want to engage in this fandom.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
The fandom has become so toxic and so, horrible to these different filmmakers on such a personal level that's really interesting to me. Rian Johnson's got thick skin. You got to give him that. Even if you don't like him, you got to give him, he's got really thick skin. I am somebody who liked Last Jedi. I thought it brought up a bunch of really great concepts that then were dismissed in Rise of Skywalker. And I was very sad we didn't see those threads like completely get tied up. I think with the right story, he could come back. It's just the fandom is already so against him. I mean, you guys in the chat, a whole bunch of you already are absolutely not. No, I never want to see this again. I mean, do you want to try to make a Star Wars?
I'd spit in his soup.
Yeah. You guys, I know we talk about things on the show too of how we don't like certain things in film or television, or I would have done this differently. And I totally understand that. And I'm guilty of every now and then having that. It should have been like this. It's hard to make movies.
Yeah, it is.
It's really fucking hard. And it's even harder when it is treasured IP like Star Wars. Everything you do is going to be so polarizing. So the fact that he wants to get back in that ring again, honestly, I think that speaks volumes. And I would love to see what he could do.
You know, it's funny. When I talked on the show that I did, one of the shows I did solo, it is, we are, and I include all of us, we've all done this from time to time. There's no one person guilty of this. We've all been guilty of this at some point. But we as fandom turn on people real fast. Mm-hmm. Look at what happened with Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi, Academy Award winner, made Jojo Rabbit, Wilder People, What We Do in the Shadows, arguably directed a couple of the best episodes of Mandalorian, made Thor Ragnarok, which is huge success and beloved. But then he made Thor Love and Thunder, that was, including myself, was not a lot of people's favorite. But what's crazy is he only put on one movie that some people didn't like. It was, don't let Taika Waititi anywhere near this stuff ever again. It's like,
which is ridiculous.
It's like,
yeah, the guy's comedic genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, did we suddenly forget that this is the same guy who won an Academy Award for Jojo Rabbit? This is the same guy who made Hunt for the Wilder People? Is this the same guy? Okay, he had a bad day at the office. I mean, we don't write off Steven Spielberg after he made that terrible The Terminal movie. Right? Sorry, Ray.
What?
Oh, no.
Wow.
Fighting words.
And Thor Love and Thunder.
That way to put in that jab.
Thor Love and Thunder wasn't perceived as terrible by everyone, right? Like, Jonathan, you enjoyed it. When we've talked about that, of how you and I had very different experiences. You know?
But that is what we as fandom do, right?
Yeah.
I did.
And I think a lot of people, once Last Jedi came out and they didn't like it, and hey, that's fine. We like or dislike different movies for different reasons. Mm-hmm. But the amount of people that went, I never want to see anything by Rian Johnson again. It's like, this is the same guy who made Brick. Like, what? But that is what we do. Anyway, Rob, I mean, I'm saying there is as a fan of Rian Johnson, there is no way they should bring him back because nothing good will come of this. But, I mean, I don't know. He's just got another big success with Glass Onion. Can you see a reality in which he comes back to do more Star Wars?
Well, in a way, here's the thing. I think what people really hate about The Last Jedi the most is what was done to Luke Skywalker.
Which I honestly thought was one of the best things they did in that movie.
And here's the thing. He didn't do that. That was something that another filmmaker put him in a position, and Rian Johnson was handed this baton and was like, okay. And if you look at Last Jedi, there's some great set pieces in it. Like in Snoke's throne room or whatever, that battle sequence is amazing with the red Praetorian Guard, and there's some stuff. And I love the fact that at the end of Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker does one of the most Jedi things ever. He takes on Kylo Ren. He's not even there.
Without doing any actual violence.
Without doing any actual violence. The most Jedi shit ever. I loved that. There's a lot of goofy plotting in the movie that I'm not. I even like the Holdo maneuver. I don't care. Say what you want. That was badass in the movie. She's like, well, why don't they have light speed torpedoes and it breaks cannon? Whatever. I don't care. It was awesome. Visually, I'm like in the theater. I was like, my God.
The sound design of that scene, by the way, was also
so good.
really incredible.
Rian Johnson is a great filmmaker. I love Brick. I love Brothers Bloom. I love Looper. I loved his episodes of Breaking Bad. I love the first Knives Out. The guy's a world-class filmmaker. If he did something original outside of the Skywalker saga, and it was an interesting idea, all he has to do is float a fascinating idea. I think there'd be a firestorm, a shitstorm of people on the line, bitching and moaning. Dude, I'm getting people that are bitching and moaning about Andor to me. Going, this amounts to nothing, and this, I'm like, okay, clearly you're not objectively looking at something, which is fine. But I do think that there is a possibility that he could come back with the right whatever it was, whatever he comes up with, because he is a world-class filmmaker. And I would also say to people, everybody that hates The Last Jedi, it made $1.3 billion worldwide.
Yep.
And for as much as you might hate something, there are very few filmmakers in the history of humanity that have made it into the $1 billion club. And he is one of them. He's also a guy that began his indie roots in a movie like Brick. Then he made a kind of a self-indulgent movie I like in Brothers Bloom. So the guy is a filmmaker that could do something interesting. It would be auteurist, certainly. It would be far away from the Skywalker saga, yes, if he came back. But I think that's what he would want. But you know what? Hey, as far as I'm concerned, nothing could be possibly worse than The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
and so and right now, or
I
to
share
be
that
honest,
opinion.
I put that here's my level of bad Star Wars. At the very bottom is the Star Wars Holiday Special. Right above it is The Rise of Skywalker, and right above that is, well, I would say Book of Boba Fett. I mean, I think he could probably give us something that's above that.
By the way, you're talking about like some people complain about Andor. Somebody, one of our viewers sent me this. I'll see if I can bring it up here. His name was Glenn. Are you able to
Is
bring
it
up?
on your air? Or...
Is this bleeding
MacBook.
into?
I lost it. We have to reconnect that MacBook.
Okay, see if you can bring that back up again. We'll talk about that one in just a second. Oh, actually, let me see if I can bring it up here. Because
your air.
I want to show you guys this. Where is my? Oh, here we go.
Okay, I got it.
Got the image? I love this. Star Wars Hander. How can you watch it? There's no lightsabers. That to me. So Glenn, who said one of our viewers sent that to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is people who didn't like. They're Gaston. Anyway, whatever. But all art is subjective. You didn't like Andor, or you didn't like it. There's nothing wrong with that. But
Of course not.
anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, as much of a fan as I am as Rian Johnson, I really don't think anything good can come out of him coming back to do it. But maybe Rob's got a point.
But winning cures everything.
Winning cures everything. And if he comes back and delivers the next Andor or the next Breaking Bad Fly episode or whatever in a Star Wars universe, maybe everybody gets over it really quick. Who knows? Question is for you. What do you think about this? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there.